Hello and welcome to Fast Horses Today for Friday. Today is April 24th. We're going to be covering the start of the race week over at Santa Anita, the Great Race Place. So let's get started in the first race. The first race has an approximate post time 1 o'clock Pacific, so that's 3 o'clock here in the Central Time Zone. And I've got some win bets that I want to make throughout this card. What I've been noticing is, since the opening of the Hollywood meet at Santa Anita, some of these races have come up a little bit light. There's some big favorite, program favorites in these races, and it just kind of makes it a little difficult to decipher, you want to get into these races or not. It makes it challenging, to bet. But I picked out a few races here for some win bets, and, we'll go from there. So we are going to start out in the first race. First race is a condition claimer. These are $30,000 claimers, non-winners of 3 lifetime. They're going to go a mile on the grass. And it's because of this condition is why I'm going to make a bet here. I mean, it's going to end up being the favorite, that being the 3-horse, who is Mr. Leisure. Now, there's nothing too exciting about a 6-5 in the program, giving out a horse like this. But, I just want to get the day off to a winning way here, get it off to a fast start with a win. Mr. Leisure is a horse I've been following for a while. I do like the Distorted Humor offspring. They always seem to run very nicely, and they're just nice, tough horses. And, Mr. Leisure has shown some nice races out in Southern California and nice races on the turf. They're dropping him in to this condition claimer. He'd been running in these starter allowance races, which there is a pretty good difference in the class of horses running in those two types of races. And, with the last couple races this horse has run and who he's run with, I just think this is a significant drop in class, and Mr. Leisure should be ready to go today. So again, 6-5 in the program, not too sure what kind of price we're going to get, but we'll make a win bet in the first race on the 3-horse Mr. Leisure. Now let's move over to the third race of the day. The third race is a maiden special weight. These are fillies, and these are 3-year-olds and up. These are open company horses. They're going 6.5 on the grass, and that's the flat grass sprint there, 6.5 on the flat grass. And I've got a win bet I want to make here in this race, that being on the 3-horse who is Ooh La La. Ooh La La from the Richard Mandela barn. Mandela legs up Ismael Jaramillo. And, I don't remember this horse's first race, but I see this horse did have one start back in March. She ran a really nice race, coming second in her initial start. That was a 6-furlong flat grass sprint. And Jaramillo took the call there. So nice to see Ismael Jaramillo riding for the Richard Mandela barn. I think it's a great move for Mandela to put this guy on his horses. He really gets the best out of horses and is riding well there in Southern California. So Jaramillo, I thought, rode the horse really nicely. She ran like a big baby. I mean, she was 4 years old, first start as a 4-year-old. Probably not what the Mandela barn was looking for with this, $400,000 purchase, but took her some time to get to the races. She showed a lot of promise, I thought, but also just ran like a big baby. Just kind of broke outward, kind of ran in spots. But I think that she showed a lot of ability. Ultimately, I think Ooh La La will probably want to run long, but this 6.5 flat grass sprint should be to her liking based on what she did her first start. The horse is 5-1 in the program. I seriously doubt we're going to get a price like that on this horse because word probably will be out. I'm sure she's trained nicely. People will look at the film. And Ooh La La should not go off at 5-1, but we'll take 5-1 if we can get it. So I'll make a win bet on the 3-horse in the third race, that being the 3, Ooh La La, in the third. Now we're going to go to the 5th race of the day. 5th race of the day, this is a first-level allowance race here for California-bred fillies. They're going a mile on the grass, and these are 3-year-olds only. There is an option to claim for $50,000, and I see there is a horse here in for the $50,000 tag. That probably made the race go. But I've got a horse here I want to make a win bet on, that being the 1-horse who is Cecilia Street. Now, Cecilia Street comes in for Leonard Powell. Powell legs up Mirko de Muro. Now, here's my only question is, Mirko de Muro certainly has shown a lot of ability in his time in Southern California. Not exactly sure what's going on with de Muro lately. He's been on a bit of a rough skid, so we'll see. It looked like he rode a little better with the opening of the Hollywood meet, so we'll see. Maybe de Muro, has gotten things out of the way and, maybe riding better lately. So we'll take a chance with Mirko de Muro here, 5-2. Cecilia Street goes back to Lasix. If you look at her past performances, her only start with Lasix probably was her best start. It was a win and a first-level allowance just like this, and that being at a sprint distance. So looks like the Leonard Powell barn is taking advantage of the new rule in place there in California where a horse can go back into that first level. if it's a different distance. So that's what they're trying here. Doesn't look like a mile should be any problem for her since she had wanted a mile back over at Del Mar last fall. So a mile should be no problem here. I think they fit her in to a nice spot here. I'm going to throw out her last race, that being in the stakes race to Evening Jewel. That's a sprint race on the dirt. That's on Cal Cup Day. And, it doesn't look like that's what she wants to do. Looks like grass is probably what she wants. So we'll throw that race out. We'll put a line through it, as they say. And maybe it was just a good work here for this race. Looks like, she's definitely got speed to get out on the lead if she wants, or just maybe sit a trip. I don't know, but we'll leave it up to DeMoro. 5-2, I think we're going to get somewhere around that price. And I know that there's a horse here in this race that is a shorter price in the 4-horse Run with Liberty, who comes off a really nice maiden win. So we'll see. We're going to try and beat that program favorite with the 1-horse, Cecilia Street, in the 5th race. All right, now let's recap the day and recap the bets. Okay, so for Friday, the start of the race week over at Santa Anita, April 24th, we've got 3 win bets to make throughout the card. We're going to start out in the first race. We're going to go with the 3-horse, Mr. Leisure. The 3rd race, the 3-horse, Ooh La La. In the 5th race, the 1-horse, Cecilia Street. So if you see fit, you want to make those win bets, that's what I'm going to do today. I wish you the best of luck. Some of those horses do fall in that early pick 5 as well as the late pick 5. You can start out in the 5th race there. So if you decide you want to use these horses in your multi-race wagers, your pick 3s, your pick 4s, pick 5s, I wish you the best of luck. Let's wish the folks over at Santa Anita a very happy, safe day of racing there for their start of the race week. Let's wish ourselves some good luck and some good trips. As we know, that is the difference between winning and losing in many cases. So as always, I thank you so much for watching Fast Horses today and listening to the picks. Please don't forget, if you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button for me. It doesn't cost you anything. You need to get that subscriber count up. You can always like or dislike or make comments. Make good comments, make bad comments. I promise to respond to everything, and let's create a discussion. So again, thank you so much for watching. Let's get this weekend started off quickly at Santa Anita, and we will see you for more coverage throughout the rest of the week at Santa Anita, the great race place. Have a wonderful Friday. Thank you.